Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. Welcome back. We're taking a look at, well, I'll show you. Hold on. Hold on. Yeah, baby. Let's go. All righty. So it has been a while. Let's look at our handy dandy source today. Where is it? Here we are. Shout out to Thunder Dungeon Roy. It's not even showing here. My apologies. Yeah, some Europe versus USA cultural showdown memes. Let's get straight into it. Number one from Tibor. Over the span of a decade on this side of the pond, gradually transitioned from drinking large coffees to single and double espressos. Not sure what it means, but it's a thing. Good morning, folks. What a real American drinks left versus what a European drinks on the right. It is a totally different culture, that's for sure, right? I am not a Starbucks drinker personally, but I like sometimes hot coffee, only a couple of phases throughout the year. I used to drink it all the time. More of an iced coffee person, at this point in my life, I admit it. And, I tend to actually like it, but I don't try, I try not to get it all sugared up and stuff. And sometimes at home I actually drink black coffee because I feel like it does taste good. And I feel like it really wakes me up almost better. But yes, this guy right here, this is just not a thing here. I mean, it probably is. I think you could order this. It's just no one does it. Right? Maybe I should try and find if I can order that here, right? It's funny how Starbucks sells these. I don't know how popular Starbucks would be in European countries. Probably not very popular. But the fact that they even exist there and still sell a little bit of these says something, right? A totally different market. This one. Right into the McDonald's. Big Mac in the U.S., $5.66. Big Mac in Denmark, if we're using U.S. Dollars, $4.90. I can't believe y'all have cheaper foods. Isn't Denmark one of the more pricey countries in Europe as well? And it's still cheaper. Like, you guys' groceries are cheaper. Eating out is cheaper. I can't believe it, right? Like, the U.S. is not as affordable as I used to think. Also, this is from Troy 21, so I'm going to price check these in a little bit because I'm pretty sure they've gone up. A McDonald's worker in Denmark makes $22 an hour, gets 6 weeks of annual vacation, gets a union, gets 1 year of paid family leave, and gets life insurance and a pension. Yo, that is actually incredible. What the hell are we doing here? In America, the same worker gets $9 an hour with no benefits. Now, this varies by state. For example, here in Illinois, you would be getting like $15 and change an hour at McDonald's. Then again, cost of living varies a lot as well. So Illinois, you pay a lot of taxes, right? It's one of the worst tax states. And cost of living, it depends on where you're at. Like in Chicago, it's a little higher, obviously. Yeah, if you want to work at McDonald's, just go to Denmark. That's the play. It's not even close. Surprisingly, if you look here, it says $5 to $7. Of course, this varies by city and of course, state. It could be up to upwards of $7 in pricey cities like Seattle or New York, but the national average hovers around $5.79. So it's really only gone up a little bit. I'm actually shocked to see that. I know for a fact that a lot of things have gone up, so let's not kid around, right? But I guess good on the Big Mac for not going up so much in these in the 2020s, like everything else. So all right, I'll give credit. Americans, I use miles and pounds. Europeans, I use kilometers and kilograms. Canadians, snorting a line of assorted measuring systems. I'm 5'3". I weigh 150 pounds. Okay, that's like what we say. Horses weigh 1,000 kilograms. Lost me there. My house is an hour away, and I drive 80 kilometers an hour to get there. I need a cup of flour and 1 liter of milk. All right, Canadians, and I think the British do this, right? I mean, I guess that makes sense, right? Commonwealth countries to an extent. Yeah, y'all are lost. You're right in the middle. Like, you're not full on metric, and you're not full on, what would it be, like imperial? You're just kind of all over the place. At least we're ignorant, and different to the fullest extent. Although that's not true, because a lot of things here, tools, gun ammo, groceries, like food, is actually measured in metric. NASA uses metric, so I guess we're all screwed up. American logic versus European logic. Came up a lot, and this is the best display of this, actually, because when it doesn't show this, you kind of can't realize how different they are and how kind of flawed the American logic is. This is the best, example of this. And I used to try to defend this. And in all honesty, even though I'm so used to doing the American way, I just can't defend it. You're right. Day, month, year, looks better. It makes sense. It makes logical sense. But I'm stuck doing this. I'm sorry. It's what I do. Except for one day of the year, and that would be the 4th of July. Yeah, America's weird. European architecture versus American architecture. Damn, they did us dirty there. It's not like that. Come on now. That would actually be kind of fun if it was like this. But, in a nutshell, yeah, it's pretty accurate. Europeans, I found this cool coffee shop nearby. 10 minutes walk. Americans, this place nearby is so amazing. It's just a 2-hour drive. This is so accurate, man. Like, distance does not scare us, right? America's so big, but it's so spread out, right? You have major cities, and then when you go outside those major cities, it's usually empty, no matter what state you're in, for like the next hour or two. There might be small towns, and that's it. And they're not going to have, many amenities that you're going to drive for. So, yeah, this is very, very accurate. Actually, as a matter of fact, when I say, I go to certain places that I've talked about on the channel, some of these places are actually 30, 40, some 45 minutes from where I live. That's just normal here. Like, that's normal to go to places that far away on a semi-regular basis. I feel like Europeans, that's just not a thing, right? You're walking, and if you're driving, that's more rare, and you're not driving an hour away, like, constantly. I feel like that's probably not happening in the average European's, weekly cycle. Also, the irony here is a 10-minute walk away, that's too damn far. Yeah, Americans, we're not doing that. Europeans, I drove 30 minutes to Germany for a drink. Then I took a 15-minute ferry to Switzerland for some groceries. I drove another 30 minutes to Italy for dinner. Yo, who the hell is doing this? Like, I get it. Like, yes, you could go to all these different countries in a relatively short time and distance, especially if you're near like a meeting of 3 or 4 countries. But, dude, who the hell's actually doing this? I don't buy it. Americans, I'm in Texas. I drove for 6 hours. I'm still in Texas. Yeah, accurate. And that, as someone who has lived in Texas, and I do love Texas, it's I think it's a pretty cool state. Lots of variety and natural beauty, especially in like West Texas. It gets old though. Like, driving for 6 hours and still being in the same state, it wears you down quite a bit after, 3, 4, 5 hours. Europeans, we can fit cars, buses, and electric trains on a street built to be just wide enough for 2 horse-drawn carriages in very dense parts of the city. I never thought about this, but this is accurate. How do you guys do it? Americans, you want to put a bus route on this 6-lane suburban road? We're going to need 2 more lanes then. This is probably the most accurate one yet. This is a meme, but it is so true. Like, the excuses they come up with, right, to never improve public transportation is hilarious, right? As Europeans, I feel like you would just almost not believe, like, some of the stuff you see over here and like, reasons why they don't do stuff or why they don't expand things. Europeans, I'm back from vacation. My 6 months catching up on emails period starts today. Americans, I'm back from vacation. Have you seen the email I've sent at 3 a.m. on Sunday? Yeah. Was it really a vacation? If you're thinking about work, you're still checking stuff. You're checking emails. You're sending emails, reading memos. Yeah, Americans need to actually unplug on vacation, right? We need to try it out more often and for longer. Working yourself to death, is it really worth it? Europeans win on their vacation state of mind. Yeah, they got it. They've got it down pat. What I've learned from the most recent America versus Europe discourse is that Americans go to the store like this and Europeans go like this. Oh my God, they did everyone dirty. But yeah, there is an uncomfortable amount of people in pajamas if you go to a store. It depends on the store. If you go to a nice store, you're probably not going to see many people like that here. But if you go to Walmart, even if you go to Target, your main big box stores that are everywhere, yeah, there's going to be people that just don't care there. I mean, they will literally be in slippers, even if it's snowing. I've seen it. Finding out most European countries don't have air conditioning really cleared up any wanderlust really quick. I think they do have AC. It's just not as common, and maybe they don't use it in the same way, right? But all that. It's definitely not thrilling as an American, hearing that, your AC experience is going to be a lot less. One of the things we have to kind of prepare for and try not to worry about. Americans, our culture is so hopelessly fractured and polarized. There's no longer anything that binds us together. That feels accurate. I could tell you we're American by the way that you walk, the Europeans say. That is actually, like, I guess we're more alike than we think over here. So alike that we can literally be called out thousands of miles away at a different continent. So I think, maybe we need to recognize that over here. We're all more alike than we think. Europeans, I'm leaving. My 6-month transition period starts today. Americans, I'm leaving. My last day is 5 p.m. That is so true. I mean, all we even have here that you're supposed to do is like a 2-week notice, and most people don't even do that. I'll admit, I've had a job in the past. It was when I was really young, but yeah, I didn't do the 2-week notice. I did about 1 or 2 days, and I was like, yep, I'm not coming back next week. Sorry. Take me off the schedule. I mean, if you've seen how American, the lack of American working rights, and, how some companies and bosses treat employees, I think you'd probably understand why employees don't want to be the most courteous when the time comes. Americans only think it's the end times when it's happening to them and not when it's been happening to others for decades. I mean, I don't fully get what it's saying here, but I do get that, yeah, Americans live in a very thick bubble. U.S. restroom stalls versus Europe's. This is a classic. You guys do these 100% better. This is actually doing America a solid here, making it look not as bad as it actually is. The gap here is not even that bad on the America one, but in reality, it's usually way worse. Way worse than this. I would be happy with this one. Yeah, why isn't this the standard, right? What are we doing here? This should be standard everywhere. The European stalls, far superior. I'm sorry. The discourse here is American bread versus European bread. There's no question. I mean, look at it, right? They did us a little dirty. You could get better bread than this. But unfortunately, I get it. It's like what normal Europeans usually would go for bread like this on a regular basis. So this is accurate. And unfortunately, a lot of fellow Americans would go for this kind of bread on a regular basis as well. My commute when I lived in Europe versus my commute in America. Oh, this is, again, painful because it's the truth. As a car guy, right, driving in the U.S. can be so not fun, right? Even though I'm a car guy, right, driving should be awesome. A lot of times because of this, it's just not fun. You're just sitting still and crawling along. It's more of a hassle. Europeans, I know English, French, German, and Polish. Americans, I know RHO. What the hell is this? And they're from Chicago. So I'm in the Chicago area, but I don't know this. The hell is this? Yes, the Real Housewives series. I believe that's what this stands for. Of course, Americans wouldn't know other languages, but we know our reality TV, right? It's got to count for something. American water tower versus European water tower? Geez, even your water towers are cool like this? What? This is what most water towers look like here. Some of them maybe, they'll be painted up, or they'll have like a football or basketball on them, or like, a city name or something. But I never even thought of like what water towers would look like in European countries. I'm going to actually look that up. Interesting. This is what comes up for European water towers. I mean, look at these. These are incredible. Like, I wouldn't even think, I'll be honest with you. If I'm walking around or I'm driving around, right? This is in Germany, for example. I wouldn't even see, if I'm looking around, just take it into sites, right? Take it into architecture. I wouldn't even think this is a water tower. Like, that fooled me. I think, oh, that's just a really cool building, right? Like, that doesn't look like a water tower to me. That's hella cool. These are insane, man. Look at this one's under Construction. That one's in Poland. That looks like the one we saw on the meme there. Look at these. Wow, these are like a real thing. These are incredible, man. A Dutch one. Oh my God, these are so cool, dude. Look at that one. Whoa, right? All right, you guys win. No, not even close. Just had to outdo us, even in water towers, huh? I see how it is. Europeans work to live while Americans live to work. That is so true. We were just talking about that, weren't we? Just look at jobs in the U.S. It's actual joke how badly we get paid. I mean, yeah, the pay's usually higher in the U.S., but I think I've been through this, man. Don't get me going on a rant. Come on now. We pay a lot. First of all, we pay a lot more taxes than people think. We don't get anything back for them. That's what it feels like, okay? At least what it feels like, all right? We got to pay a bunch of other stuff, too, out of pocket. So don't worry. The extra money you're getting in the U.S. can get lost really quick unless you're very, very stringent, you know? Like, yeah, anyway. Not to mention you always got to be at work, and if you take a day off, you might not get your job back. Like that's how sketchy it is here. Like people are afraid to just take days off because it's so looked down upon. I miss America a little bit, but only because Europe, the glasses of water are so small. Dude, okay, whatever. Americans have well-deserved reputation abroad, but I refuse to apologize for iced coffee. Why are Europeans afraid to live deliciously? You know, that's a good question. Like, I try to avoid the iced coffees daily, right, that are all sugared up. Like, I don't do that, right? I can't handle that. You could tell it's not good often, right? But every once in a while, it's not a big deal, right? I drink water a lot to wake up. I try not to drink coffee every day. And then, like I said, I work in black coffee because I actually like that as well. And I think it actually affects me better. Like it does. The whole point is to wake me up, and I feel like it does that better. Now, having, you know, a little bit of a tasty coffee, some interesting stuff mixed in there. Look, we do it all the time here in the U.S. It's pretty good, right? I mean, you got to live a little sometimes, right? So I don't have a problem with it. Now, people that spend $10 a coffee every day, right? They buy the overpriced iced coffees here, and then they're drinking it like twice a day, every day. That's pretty wild. That's a problem. But do Europeans ever indulge in like a kind of a jazzed up iced coffee with a little, you know, whip on there, a little chocolate drizzle? You know, I don't know. What's your poison, right? Like someone over there has got to be doing like an American style iced coffee sometimes, right? I'd be shocked if no one was doing that. Come on now. Are people in Europe dehydrated all the time? They're so stingy with water. What's with all these water memes? The cups are so small. I'm thirsty just thinking about being in France again. I don't know. I've learned over time. I used to be like, yeah, we drink water a lot. You're kind of supposed to. But then I kind of realized we do drink, like the way we're obsessed with it is a little too much. Like I think that's a good habit, drinking water, right? It's better than, you know, drinking, I don't know, Diet Coke all day or something. And again, the obsession with it is wild, right? It is wild. I don't think Europeans are obsessed with drinking water all day because they don't have to, right? So why would you? Now that I live in Europe, I can confidently say that the metric system is overall superior, but Celsius is a garbage scale compared to Fahrenheit. Fight me. You know, I've learned Celsius, you know, my little clock down here, not clock, it's the humidity on top, and then it has a temperature in the bottom. And I have had it set to Celsius for like a year straight. Every once in a while in some of our vehicles, you could change, like on the mirror, it shows the temperature. Sometimes I'll change it to Celsius for fun, right? So over time, I've learned Celsius pretty well, for at least, I guess, in like an American, you could say. And so I've learned it. You know, I understand that like 25 degrees Celsius to me is like comfortable, 22, you know, something like that. You know, anything above 30 is pretty damn hot. Anything below, you know, towards 0 is pretty damn cold. But I'll be honest, I'm used to Fahrenheit. And for temperature, at least when you're going outside, like outside temp, you know, and deciding what to wear and stuff, like I feel like Fahrenheit is better. It's just, it's like a broader scale. Maybe it doesn't make sense from the outside, but if you grew up with it, it makes perfect sense. And I like how it's a little broader than Celsius is a little more like this. That's how I think of it. I know it probably doesn't make sense, but hey, at least I learned Celsius, so I can get by. I kind of get it. Also, at least they admitted that the metric system's superior too, because let's get real, it is. Borders in America versus Europe. Yeah, this is such a wild thing to see as an American. Yeah, that's why a lot of people aren't just going back and forth all the time, because look at this. A little bit of a hassle. Europeans versus Americans counting? What is this? This is the American way then, right? Like that? That makes sense. That's how I would count. 3, 4, 5. European. What? Now we get to that conundrum, right? Does the European way actually make more sense? Because it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? It's actually in a row, starting at one end and finishing on the other end of your hand. Like in the US, you would do 1, 2, 3. So you're starting in the middle and then going over here and then coming back over here for 5. Damn it. Me finishing 6 full glasses of water at lunch? Jeez. Looking around, seeing everyone else has hardly finished their first glass. I'm telling you, Europeans just don't drink water, and it freaks me out. My goodness, this girl is downing the water like she's about to hike across the Sahara for 48 hours or something. Oh my goodness. 6 glasses of water at a lunch? Jeez, maybe 6 glasses of water over the course of 18 hours. Not at a lunch. That's insane, right? I would argue most Americans aren't doing that. Maybe 1 or 2 glasses of water at lunch, not 6. That's pretty bad. I feel like she has some underlying issue there. Also, she's freaking out about Europeans just don't drink water at all. So I guess you guys are aliens. I don't know what to tell you. Europeans versus Americans when a new content drops. Okay, this one I'm a little out of the loop. Europeans don't get excited. What new content, right? American innovation versus European innovation. Okay. Now, hold up. I feel like innovation-wise, we're pretty neck and neck, right? I mean, the U.S. has contributed quite a lot over the decades for innovation, right? Now, European countries have as well. I feel like we kind of work pretty good there, like pretty good together. We've both given a lot to the world. I mean, yeah, Europeans are more fit on average, you would think, yes. There's plenty of fat people in the U.S., no denying that. So I feel like the pictures make sense. Title, not so much. There's a burglar in our house. Europeans, whoa, hold up. Oh, look, at the time, it's Glock o'clock. Yeah, that is accurate. That the fact that some Americans would almost be thrilled. Ooh, yeah, you chose the wrong house, buddy. Come on in. Yeah, it's like that here. It's pretty crazy. Europe versus America, ice wars. Here's the ice thing again. This comes up a lot. But I've noticed over time, this is way before I, studied different countries and have done this channel, right? Just naturally, my own thoughts. I've always been kind of not an ice person, right? I like ice in my drinks, sure, but I like just a little bit in there. This level of ice where it's almost, this is even still not that much, but it's a lot, right? For the American example, some restaurants will literally fill this up so the ice is all the way to the bottom. And you realize that not a lot of liquids going on there, right? If you ordered a Coca-Cola, you ordered, whatever it is, you're not getting much of it, right? It's all ice. I mean, look at how much space the ice takes up. Plus, it starts melting and it waters down your drink. So the Europeans have it right here. I will say aesthetically pleasing. The American one wins. Like, this kind of looks underwhelming, right? Like, kind of looks sad or something, this drink, the European version. But in reality, this is how I prefer my drinks. I prefer just a little bit chilled, right? I don't want it warm, but, just a little bit of ice in there because I want to taste the product in there. This on the right, it tastes watered down. It doesn't flow correctly. I mean, it all, like, you drink it and it all doesn't let the drink flow. It's a nightmare. It's just not good. It's clunky. European versus American truck. Now, come on now. This isn't even accurate, right? You got to call out this one. This is literally taken in the U.S., I'm pretty sure. We have a Ford F-250 Super Duty back here. One of the biggest trucks on the market, right? So that's, buying the biggest of the biggest. And then we have that's a newer one. We have like an older, like literally 2000 or like a 1999 Toyota Tacoma, and the smallest Tacoma you can buy, which would be a regular cab, like short bed. So this is like a very small 2-wheel drive Tacoma that sits low. That's obviously a Japanese truck. Now, they're both U.S. market trucks, but they're also 20 years plus apart. And basically, even a 90s Ford Super Duty would be a lot smaller than the new one, right? Like, trucks have gotten ridiculously big. No arguments there. But, like, even American trucks, like, I have a 95 Chevy truck, and it is small. It's a full-size truck, but it is small compared to a 2025 version of the same truck. Oh, yeah. American versus European Fanta. Don't I know about that? You know what I find funny is the American one is obviously so fake, right? The nuclear orange tastes weird, right? Very sugary and chemically and syrupy. And, of course, the European Fantas, they range a little bit, but they taste, to me, a little more like orange juice would taste, a little carbonated. It's a more natural color. What I find funny is that the logo is, like, cartoonish on the European one, and the American one, they actually try to make this orange slice look realistic. So it's, like, realistic orange on the sticker, like, this is an orange drink. But in reality, it's, like, as fake as it gets. And on the European Fanta one, it's just a cartoon orange slice because it's soda, not real orange juice. But in reality, it's closer to orange juice. So it's kind of a little bit of irony there, I feel like. This is the perfect visual of European-sized food versus American-sized food. I try to prep students for this when we go overseas. Now I just can't. Now I could just show this image, organic, normal apple versus genetically enhanced apple. Yeah, there is a lot of concern, right? Like, you're trying to eat healthy in the U.S., right? You want to eat some produce, eat some fruits and veggies. And even that is a little bit of a chore because there's so much different weird stuff going on. Like, why are they messing with the apples, man? Why? And that was it. That kind of flew by. Holy smokes. I haven't visited European versus American memes in quite a while. So I would like to do more in the near future, right? There's a lot out there, and we'll get into some crazier ones perhaps next time. But that was fun. That was fun. I appreciate you joining me. I hope you had a good time. And hopefully the comments should be pretty funny on this, I would imagine. That's going to be it for this one. My name is Ian. You're watching IWrocker. Until next time, y'all. Catch you later.